Take It Slow Homestead. I'm Carol and today is burning day. I have a huge pile of twigs and limbs and weeds that I need to burn and get them out of the way. I got the wood chips all moved and I gave them to the chickens. Put some in run number 1 and I put some in run number 3. So I got that pile of wood chips all taken care of. Hallelujah. And now today, even though it's a little bit breezy, I have a burning permit and I'm going to burn that huge pile of weeds and get that out of the way. So come along and let's see if I can get it done before dark. Well, I got it started with the first try. I lit some of the dry weeds on fire and they in turn lit a piece of cardboard I'd stuck in there, and the fire took off a lot quicker than last year or a year and a half ago. Yeah, it took me several tries and then my son had to finally come over and get it going for me. But this time, it did a great job. Got going, burned quickly. I assume that the branches and twigs were a little drier than I thought, so I didn't have to restart it at all. We'll just let this simmer down. Then we'll start piling up the ashes a little more. Throw in the branches like that one right there poking up. The ones that didn't get burned because they were too far away from the middle of the fire. There's some down here on this end, some over there on the other side, some up there in the front. We'll toss those in and get those burned also. So, that was quick work. That only took a few minutes instead of a few hours like I thought it was going to. But it does take time to burn everything down to ashes. And that's the plan. You saw me get the hose going and keep the weeds around the perimeter wet. I didn't want them to somehow ignite. They're not very dry. They're pretty green, so I didn't think that would be a problem, but I wanted to spray them down anyway. Before I started fire, I went clear around it with the hose and I wet down all of the green grasses. So now we've just got a lot of smoke to bother the neighbors, darn it. But hopefully that will, well, it will eventually burn down until there's no smoke either. But it'll take a while. I'll just keep at it and keep my eye on it, keep my hose handy, drink some water, and enjoy watching the fire. I'm going to show you where my wood chip pile was. I know I've shown it before, but when I showed it before, there were wood chips here. So that's where the wood chip pile was. And so now that's all gone. The place where I'm going to dig the new burning pit is right here. This is what I started on a recent video. I'm going to see if my grandson wants to help. And what we'll do is load the back of the pickup with this soil that we're going to dig out and take it to the project in the front yard where I need more soil. Let's get another view of the fire area. I'm standing on the northeast side of it, which means that I'm going to be getting the smoke in my face. But that's this side. It was a huge fire. And it burned well. It burned fast. And it almost burned completely. I'll just keep tending it and see what happens. Keep throwing those other limbs in there as I can get closer to it. It's pretty hot, as you can imagine. I'll keep you posted on this as the fire gets smaller, as the cinders continue to burn. So I think I'll check back like every hour with the camera, see where we're at. Okay, it's a little while later and the fire is still simmering. I have been throwing in some twigs and little branches from the edges into this area right here that's still burning. It looks like a couple of railroad ties were thrown in there. So they are keeping the fire going. All right, we'll check back later. It's been a little while later, and it looks like the fire is just about out. I'm sure that there's some hot embers and some hot ashes, but I'm going to rake around a little bit, see if I can consolidate the little twigs that are left into one little pile and try and get it consolidated, and then I will turn the water on again and douse everything that I can around the perimeter, and then in a little while I'll come out again and see if any more of it has burned down. But before it gets dark and before it gets too late, I will douse the whole thing, and whatever is left, I'll just add it to my new burning pit when it's ready. If there is anything left, it'll just probably be a few twigs. So I'll save those for the new burning pit. All right.